everyone, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we have a viewer request. On my recent muffaletta sandwich video, someone said make a Tampa Cubano. So that's what we're gonna do today. I can't wait to show you how this all comes together. Today we're going to be making a Tampa style Cubano sandwich. This is at the request of a viewer who left a comment on my muffaletta sandwich video that we did the other day. I have done a Tampa style or inspired Cuban burger 5 years ago, 3 or 5 years ago, I don't know, but it was delicious. We did a pork-based burger and we did all the things that would be on a Cuban sandwich, but Tampa style. Now, the one thing that sets the Tampa style Cubano sandwich apart from a regular is the addition of salami. And today we're going to be making this delicious delicacy that has its heritage roots in the Tampa community. And if you don't know about the rich history of Tampa, Florida, go look it up because it really is quite incredible. And I've never been there. I've never been to Florida, but I'm telling you what, it's on my bucket list. When I go to Florida someday, I'm not gonna go to Disneyland. I'm not gonna go to Universal Studios. I'm gonna go to Tampa, and I'm gonna go to St. Augustine, and I'm gonna go to the Florida Keys because I wanna see the cat house where Ernest Hemingway used to live and where he used to write, and I just feel like all of that rich history is so important that I can't wait to visit there. But Tampa was the cigar capital of the world for a number of years, and in the 20s they made more cigars in Tampa, Florida than anywhere else because of their centralized location to shipping lines where they could receive tobacco that was shipped in from Cuba, to train lines that would then ship the finished product to places like New York and Chicago. There at one time there were 80 different cigar factories in Tampa. Today there is one. So many people immigrated to the United States that ended up in Tampa, Florida, and they ended up in the cigar factories, that this sandwich is a melting pot that honors all of those people who ended up in Tampa making cigars and creating that community. So without further ado, let's get to the sandwich. Today, we're going to be using these Bolillo buns because I do not have access to the traditional bread that you would use for a Cubano, which is a Cassava bread. That you can actually order it online and have it shipped to you. But we're going to make do with what we have, and that's going to be perfect. And then the filling, a Cubano always has shredded pork. This honors the Cuban people. So what I have here is some smoked pork shoulder that we had smoked over 4th of July that I had in the freezer. I heated that up, and that's what we're going to use. And some sweet ham, and that honors the Spaniards. Then we're going to have Genoa Salami, which honors the Italians. Swiss cheese to bring everything together. One of the videos I watched very eloquently said the cheese kind of melts and brings everything together. And then yellow mustard and dill pickles that honor the Germans. I'm going to be putting a little bit of garlic butter on the top before we put it in our panini press. Now, I don't have a traditional panini press. I have a waffle iron that has flat plates, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to press the sandwich and get it crispy on both sides and get it melty on the inside, and it's going to be delicious. So let's make a beautiful Tampa Cuban sandwich. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to spread both sides of the bread with a good amount of yellow mustard. Next up, we're going to use some of this pulled pork. That goes down first. Now, I have shredded it just a bit. We're just going to spread that down on top of the mustard. Now, this sandwich does not lack for flavor or meat. There you go. There's our pulled pork. Next up is our ham. I'm going to put 2 slices of ham in here. You obviously can stuff yours as much as you like. And then we're going to go in with our salami. Now, typically this is Genoa salami. Today I'm using the salami that we're still eating up from our mezza platter, and that's okay. Now we're going to take our dill pickles, get those on there, and then top this off with some Swiss cheese. I have baby Swiss here today. You can use whatever kind of Swiss you like. A Havarti would be nice as well. Now, this is ready to go in the panini press, but first I'm going to make the other sandwich, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to brush this all with some delicious garlic butter that we're going to make up. All right, I have both sandwiches made, and now we're going to make the garlic butter. This is just 2 tablespoons of butter that I melted, a half teaspoon each of salt and garlic powder. If you have garlic salt, you can go ahead and use that instead and just use a teaspoon. Just give this a good mix. Then get in here with your brush. And I'm just doing the tops. And I think that will be fine. I have my waffle iron all heated up and ready to go. This is super hot. I started it on high and then I backed it down to medium high. Now we're going to just pop these on here. Give it a press. I'm using what I have. And now we're just gonna let these hang out here and melt and get nice and crunchy on the tops. And then I'll be back when they're ready to go. These have been on here just a few minutes and I think we're ready to go. The cheese is nice and melty. Everything is nice and toasty. It might not be as crisp as you could get it like if you were getting an authentic Cuban sandwich, but I think we're gonna call this good enough for home. And now I'm gonna take it off and I'm gonna serve it up and we're gonna come back and Rick's gonna give it a taste. Well, our Tampa style Cubano is all ready to eat. I've put it on a plate with some plantain chips. And if you guys have never had plantain chips, these are super popular. You in certain areas, you can get them in pretty much any grocery store now. I bought mine from Walmart.
In the Latin food section.
And you can get them in the Latin food section. But here is our Cubano. Isn't that gorgeous? All those different layers of deliciousness. And I'm pretty sure Rick is ready to taste it.
If I have to.
What do you think?
Wow, that's got it going on.
Oh, that's delicious. Oh my gosh.
The top of the bread is nice and crispy.
I have to tell you something. A week ago I went to lunch with a friend at a local restaurant. And they had a Cubano sandwich on their menu and I ordered it. It was the worst Cubano sandwich I have ever had. I'm not kidding.
This is amazing.
This is delicious. And it's so simple. I mean, you guys, I've used pulled pork, but if you have made a pork roast or like slow cooked it, or even if you've made just a regular roast for slicing, you could slice it thin and you can use that. A lot of good quality deli counters have a roasted pork loin lunch meat, and you can use that as well. I also want to say, I know not everyone has a panini press or a waffle iron like I do. You could make this by just wrapping them in foil and putting them in your oven. If you have a heavy skillet, you could put that on top, like an iron skillet, and then just pop it in the oven for like 20 minutes. If you want to do it on top of your stove in an iron skillet, if you have a brick, wrap it in foil and use that as your press. If you have a bacon press that came with your iron skillet or one that you use that. There are a lot of ways that you can press a sandwich. You don't need a special appliance to do it, and I'm just here to give you little suggestions on how you can do that instead. So that's how you make this delicious Tampa style Cubano sandwich. Thank you to the individual who made the suggestion. I love getting suggestions because then I get to roll with it and I get to learn new things, and that's exciting and fun. So I hope you give this Cubano sandwich a try sometime soon, and I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya.